Hello, Isla. Thank you for joining us today. You are here to have a little conversation with us because you're from an organisation called CLiCK, which I only just discovered this year, and you are, I was going to say specifically for women's online safety, but I'll let you maybe just explain sort of who you are and what it is that you do.
Yep. So thank you for having me. So my name's Isla and I'm the women's worker for CLiCK, and I cover the Fife and Forth Valley area. So CLiCK is a service which supports women across Scotland who sell and exchange sex or other sexual services. So for example, women who sell sexually explicit images online as well. It's an inclusive service, so we support women, but we support the LGBT community. We have had instances as well where we've had men coming through our online live chat, and I just want to make a point that for any men looking for support, we're happy to do that. Like, we're not going to turn anybody down, basically. So we provide both emotional and practical support. So basically anything you need, just let us know. If you require any support from me, my details will be at the end of this as well.
So, I mean, how long, because I hadn't heard of CLiCK before this year, is it a relatively new organisation? And was that born out of the sort of a rapid saturation of sites like OnlyFans and that kind of growth between Instagram and those areas?
It is a fairly new service, so it was operating pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. Basically what happened was there was, so like the money, the tampon tax money that the Scottish Government gets, basically they were able to allocate that funding to a service. And that's sort of how CLiCK came about. So I think there was just a real need for a service like this. We're a very unique service. Obviously there's a rise in these online platforms, and that's been like even more prevalent throughout COVID. It's been really tough financially on a lot of people, and sadly that's what some people have had to do. So yeah, it's been great, but I would say like there's definitely a need for it, so I'm really glad that it's a service that's came about.
Amazing. The so like you just sort of said before, I'll make sure there ways to get in contact are kind of posted up throughout and at the end of this video. Just as an example situation then, if I would say I'm involved in sort of selling images online and maybe struggling with the, I don't know, sometimes you get a bit of backlash from that or situations to kind of go out of your control. If I was to come to you and access your service, sort of how would I do that? And what you mentioned about the sort of one-on-one chat, how would that kind of look?
There's a variety of ways that you can get in contact with the service. So for some people, they want to do that anonymously, and that's absolutely fine, and we take that into consideration. So we have an online live chat and a helpline available. All the times for that are over at our website, which is click.spot. So you can get in touch with us that way, and there's no need to share any personal information if you don't want to do so. We've got an online referral form as well, so you can put your details into that, and then basically that will get allocated to the local worker within that area. So anyone within Fife and Forth Valley, obviously it's me, but we cover Scotland as a whole. You can also just get in touch with me, and you can text me, phone me, email me. I've always got my phone beside me, and if I'm busy and I have a missed call, I'll get back to you. But I think really just in the first instance, for somebody who would get allocated to me, it would just be ringing them up or texting them or emailing them. Some people want to talk over the phone and they're not comfortable with that, and that's fine. But it's just really making sure that you've got everything you need. For a lot of people due to the pandemic, they've been struggling with like their food, money for clothing and that sort of thing, and we have had a fund in place where we've been able to offer financial help to people, so that's been great. Being able to offer that financial support as well. But for a lot of people, they've got everything they need. They just really want somebody to talk to who's not going to judge them and get that sort of emotional support as well. So pretty much everything, we can cover it.
Very nice. And do you, I'm assuming then that you've got some, or have built up at least over the last year, some really good contacts with other women's organisations across Fife and Forth Valley and the Greater Scotland. Is there main ones that you maybe work with that are worth sharing that can also help?
Well, we've had to, so as part of CLiCK, we've had to network extensively really across the areas that we cover, and just really talk people through about what CLiCK does and make them aware of the service, so that if they come across anyone who they think is involved in selling or exchanging sex or images, that they can refer them to us as well. But I would say main other places that are good to know about is just like your local sexual health clinic, the likes of rape crisis and that sort of thing as well, for any support sort of tailored to women specifically. But we've got really good links with mental health and that sort of thing as well. We've had to use like community food banks and just really varied, to be honest. We've got good links with housing and that sort of thing as well.
Amazing. So there's a lot of different avenues that your organisation goes down there. Having been in this role for sort of a year or so now, Isla, you've been working with CLiCK?
I've been with CLiCK since September, the beginning of September. But prior to me, there was a worker for Fife and Forth Valley.
Is there any specific sort of tips or apps or how would you advise people who are, even if they were just watching this and this is their only point of contact, what kind of advice would you give to people who maybe be engaged in sort of selling their stuff online or in person?
So there is a lot of ways that you can stay safe. So in terms of staying safe, I think be clear about what you're willing to offer. So that's really key. So, you know, set your boundaries straight away. Put your barriers in place about what you're comfortable doing. So I would say, like, provide a description if you've got an online profile, alongside like any prices as well. Keep your social media private and be mindful when using images from your personal social media on like camming platforms. Consider using a picture that doesn't show your face as well. I would say use a fake name. Don't give away any real details about yourself. Most platforms offer geo-blocking, so that basically allows you to filter out anyone from your local area being able to view your profile, which is brilliant, you know, because I think that's something which is difficult, you know, if people in your area find out about that, like that could be really distressful for somebody. So being able to put a filter on that basically is perfect. Keeps you safe. And it gives you control over who can see your content, and that's massive. You know, you should have control over every element of it. I would use a different email address as well, so like use a fake email address to your normal one. Be mindful when chatting as well, not to give away any personal information. And if someone persistently asks you for this and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you know, report them, block them. For anyone who is taking payments through like Amazon, so I've seen quite a lot of people doing like the Amazon wish list and providing links. Just be really careful, so you can set it to private so you can't see your personal details, but obviously put your fake name on that, put your fake email address on that. For anyone selling or exchanging sex, be sure to keep a note of the phone number of the person that you're meeting. There's also apps that you can see basically a punter through. So for instance, National Ugly Mugs and Client Eye. You can also anonymously report anyone who's abusive, and you can receive warnings about people who are dangerous. So it flags up like somebody's phone number and the name that they're using, and then you get an alert. So I have it switched on so that I'm able to see it to alert my women, and I get like an email or I get a text and it flags it up, and then you can pass that information on. There is a website as well called Safe, which is support and advice for escorts, and that allows you to connect with other women locally for any tips or support. If you're meeting anybody, let a trusted person know when you're going and when you're due to be back, and provide a description if
Yeah.
well. It's a good idea to let this trusted person track your location as well. And if a punter is picking you up, keep a detail of their registration, make and model of the vehicle, and pass this on to a trusted person. Yeah, and I would say as well, like in Scotland, if a punter's relentlessly harassing you over the phone or through social media, that's a crime. If they repeatedly threaten to dox you or publicly out you to your family and friends, that's a crime. If they repeatedly turn up or follow you in public, that's a crime. And Police Scotland view this as like persistent and unwanted contact, which is a stalking behaviour. So you can report that to Police Scotland, obviously 999 101, or you can get in touch with us and we can help you to report it as well.
Amazing. That's it's really, I think there's been such an expand, like I said before, a lot of people kind of going into, with the kind of growth of some certain social media platforms, going into like Admire.me and these other sites, and being really overwhelmed, because like I don't have an issue with people doing what they want to do. I would hope that they were doing it because they want to do it, not because they need to do it.
Yeah.
But if you are going to do it, to make sure that you're doing it in the safest way possible.
Safest way possible, yeah. I think
if you started it and you want out of it, where to access the support to actually regain control of your life.
Exactly. And we do have women who come to us and they don't want to exit. They want to stay involved, they just want some help on staying safe, or they want some financial support or emotional support to get them through it, and that's fine. And for other people that want to exit, we can absolutely help them with that. So for instance, we've had some women who have wanted to exit and they've wanted to apply for college, or they've needed support to look for other jobs and that sort of thing. So it is really varied, and we totally respect everyone's views on that as well.
Amazing. It's really good that it's kind of very non-judgmental, that you can come in for whether you just need to talk to somebody and vent about whatever, whether you want to exit, whether you just need advice on how to do this safely.
Yeah, and I think there is so much stigma around it as well, that people do feel like if they talk about it, they will be judged. And quite often when we support women from CLiCK, they feel like we're the first person they've spoke to who hasn't judged them. And I think as well, to have someone who specialises within that area is helpful as well. But yeah, completely non-judgmental, and nobody should be judged for it, to be honest, as well.
No, not with the 21st century. Should never. But yeah, I think those are some really helpful pieces of advice and a lot of information to unpack, more than I was aware of in there. So I think that's really good. I don't think I have any other sort of questions. Is there anything else that you would maybe want to kind of, a message that you'd want to put out there, or anything else that you think was maybe not covered in our little chat?
The only other thing that I would say is that we're here to talk. Anything that you need, just let us know. Like, we love to have people who feel like they can come and talk to us. That's super important. And we wouldn't have a job unless people didn't want to come and talk to us. So if you're worried about getting in touch, please don't feel that way. We're here to talk to you, and we're more than happy to do that. But if you don't want to talk to us and you just want some more information, our website has got so much on it. We've got an Instagram, and we've got a Twitter account and Facebook account as well. I have a Facebook account as well for me personally, so it's Isla CLiCK. So if anyone wants to get in touch with me that way, you can. But yeah, the website is a wealth of knowledge. There's loads on it, so you can get loads of tips and stuff on that too.
Amazing. And the
it's CLiCK.Scot, yeah.
Amazing. Fabulous. In that case, I think that is a nice sort of easy roundup. And a really insightful conversation. So much more information there, because I feel like it has sort of rapidly grown. So it's nice to know that there are these safety features.
Yeah.
Safety feature. Yeah. In place, in order to help people that have especially with the pandemic and stuff as well. That is so amazing. I think what I will do, Isla, is thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome, and let you go and enjoy your afternoon, because I know you've been very busy. And yeah, we'll make sure to get these up and out into the world so that people know where to find you.
Yeah, it's a lot of information as well. So you know, if you can't take it all in, I totally understand that. But like I said, you know, if you want any more information, just feel free to get in touch.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.